And are you recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. It's 6:32, City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, regular meeting agenda, March 24th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. Notice is hereby given that a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas is being held today, March 24th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. at City Hall, 22870 Preach Road, Sandy Oaks, Texas. All agenda items are subject to action. The public will be permitted to offer public comments in person, telephonically, or by video as provided by the agenda and as permitted by the presiding officer during the meeting by signing up with the city secretary at least 15 minutes in advance of the meeting and providing comments in person, and at least 2 hours in advance of the meeting by emailing cityclerk@cityofsandyoaks.com or by calling 210-607-0834 if speaking telephonically or by video. Written comments may be submitted to the city secretary up to 2 hours before the meeting by emailing cityclerk@cityofsandyoaks.com and will be provided to the city council for their consideration. A recording of the telephonic meeting will be made and will be available to the public in accordance with the Texas Public Information Act upon written request. Ms. Ray, may I have a quorum call?
Alderman Rapino,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Martinez,
Here.
Alderwoman Martinez,
Here.
Alderman Bricken,
Here.
Mayor Fillinger, there's a quorum present.
Thank you, ma'am. Also present is City Attorney Cassandra Ortiz. I'd ask you to remove your hats, gentlemen. Rise with me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of
of the United States of America.
I pledge
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda item 3, citizens to be heard. Ms. Ray, do we have any?
No one signed up.
No one signed up. We did get a emailed message. Let me find it again. Okay, submission from the city's contact page, from Kenneth Carden, to myself and all the aldermen. Letter of urgent need for a city administrator. Recently, there has been a turnover of a mayor and city council members, whereas the city administrator who would have been in position would have made the transition of power and administration from one administration to a new administration nearly flawless. Currently, the sitting mayor is also acting as city administrator. The new mayor and an alderman have found,
Oh, just say
have found several, and there may be more unfinished city business issues of high importance to be addressed and accomplished. Several issues were left by the previous mayor that were unfinished or not initiated. The most recent was the disaster emergency management and disaster relief package that has to be completed to qualify for FEMA disaster funds and disaster training. Although I know Alderman Rapino will address this issue appropriately, this could have been avoided along with other city business of high importance if you had a city administrator. Environmental changes are relevant to current weather conditions with destructive weather storms are becoming an issue for all cities and states. It is imperative to have a city administrator with experience to address these issues at a city, county, and state agency levels with the appropriate paperwork. Some of the most hazardous weather for our city is upcoming this spring. Just a few years ago, a tornado hit Floresville, less than 20 miles from Sandy Oaks. One spring, Sandy Oaks had a very dangerous hailstorm that damaged many citizens' homes. Severe drought affect the high possibility of wildfires in our area. It is a city safety issue for the city to have a city administrator, and I request that council to employ a full-time city administrator to attend to these vital city matters for citizen safety. COVID relief funds should be used to hire a city administrator for a short period of time until a new budget can be forecasted for a city administrator. Governmental issues should never be disrupted during an administrative change, nor should one person have all the information that is pertinent to the city operators. With the city administrator, you will always be able to continue the city mission. Thank you for your time. Kenneth J. Carden, First Sergeant, USA, retired. And that's all of the citizens to be heard section. I would like to, excuse me, Chief, I'm going to ask you to stay a little bit later. I'd like to move right on down to agenda item 9A, discuss and/or possible action regarding Alderman Crickmer's letter of resignation. I know all of you got the letter via mail. Any discussion? No.
There would need to be a motion to accept his letter, correct?
That is correct, sir.
I move that we accept Alderman John Crickmer's resignation from the council.
Mr. Rapino, can we hang on for just a second until
Okay.
Charlotte steps back?
Oh, okay. Charlotte, I move to accept Alderman John Crickmer's resignation from the council, from place 4, as of March 17th. Or
Today's date,
you want
sir.
you want to go with today's date? Okay,
Yep.
March 24th, 2022.
I have a motion to accept Alderman Crickmer's resignation effective March 24th. Do I have a second?
A second.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Charlie.
He's on it, huh?
Okay. Okay, I had any further discussion? I have a motion from Alderman Rapino to accept Alderman Crickmer's letter of resignation. I have a second from Alderwoman Martinez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. And I would like to take a moment to thank Alderman Crickmer for his service. Moving on to agenda item 9B, discuss and/or possible action on procedures for filling the position of Alderman Place 4 and/or adopting resolution 22-151 to fill the position of Alderman Place 4 by appointment until the next regular municipal election. We're getting to be quite expert at this. Uh, The choices we have are a special election or appointment to fill the position. We're too late to get in the May general election. Quite honestly, the Bear County Elections Office doesn't want to hear us say we need a special election. And it's really expensive to hold one, not in conjunction with a regular election. My proposal is that we fill the position by appointment, but the city council needs to make the motion.
I move that we fill the vacancy for place 4 on the city council by appointment.
Before I second that, what, by appointment, can you define appointment? Is it you making an appointment? Is it me making an appointment? How do we come to an agreement on an appointment?
Well, here's how it goes, sir. I'm the moderator. City council is tasked with filling the position. Before we go any farther, we need to make a decision though, sir. Are we gonna appoint or are we gonna hold an election?
Temple. I will second the motion to have an appointment made to fill the Alderman place 4 position.
Okay,
Or should it be adopting the resolution?
That would be the second motion. Or the second.
Second part.
that's a
Okay.
second motion.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a motion from Alderman Rapino and a second from Mayor Pro Tem Martinez to fill the position by appointment. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimously, we will fill the position by appointment. Now, we're in a place we've never been before. We have 4 people that have stepped forward as candidates for the position. Let's see, I know what so what I'd like to suggest is we let each one of those persons speak to us just a few moments, tell us who they are and why they want to be on council and what they would see as the path of the city. We could draw numbers or we can do it alphabetically.
No, we do it alphabetically.
I thought alphabetically rather than any other way. Grace Alvarado has stepped up as a candidate. Grace, would you address council? Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you want to do for the city.
Okay. First of all, I've been a citizen and we moved out here in 1997. We've built our home here. I've had my younger children graduate from Southside High School and we've lived here since. I have gotten involved with the city 2019, because there was changes coming and we got involved. I enjoy living here. I like to hear from our community. I've gotten close to a lot of people here. And I believe because I'm bilingual, I have reached a lot of people, maybe others that may not have been heard. So that's what I bring to the table, as far as being bilingual and being involved with the city. But that said, I believe everyone that has stepped up, it could be a good candidate also because we're all here, we're all present. We want to be involved. So I believe that any of your choices would be a good one.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Take one and pass it along. Okay, Terry, you're next. Stand up and say your name out loud, sir.
Name is Terry Coffindale.
Coffin Dapper.
Yes,
Thank you, sir.
Can come closer.
You can't hear, can you come closer?
but of course.
Thank you.
My name is Terry Coffindale. I did step forward to take this position for the fact that we need somebody that wants to serve, and that's what I love to do. I've served for over 20 years in the military. I've done what this man has done as a civilian. I haven't lived in Sandy Oaks that long, but this is my final home. I have no desire to move or leave. My wife and I moved here eagerly when we found an opening that we could move into. Prior to being here, yes, my occupation kept me out of town, as I call it. They wouldn't let me stay in Texas much longer and they threw me out. Had to go to another state, but as soon as I retired, I ran back to Texas as quickly as we possibly could. What we do now, my wife, she is retired. She stays at home. She takes care of our kids, our grandkids as they come and visit. Myself, I do stay busy. I work. I try to help my neighbors however I can. Reaching out into the community as many people may have done, no, I don't. I've tried to in the past, in the short time I've been here. Things didn't quite come together yet, but it was a start. So maybe I'll be able to try some more of those things with the rest of the community later on. But the object is, I just like working for other people and helping them out to have a great day.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, sir. James Ellis, would you step up a little closer, speak loud for us old folks?
I'm right behind you. Yes, James Ellis, I moved here in 2020. And it was by accident. I wanted no place with the HOA. I got one, but didn't know it was a city. So once we figured all that out and got everything going, Dalton started his own business working for the city. You all hired him twice for vision. I'm on the CCRB. I'm on the P&Z. I was Santa Claus. What else? And I work with the Parks and Recreation whenever they call. Maybe I'll be Vegas Bunny, I don't know. I see a lot of things I'd like to see change, but there's a process. So I'd like to be part of that process. And I'm gonna be here for the rest of my life. My grandkids are here. And so this is where we're gonna be.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, sir. And our fourth candidate is Alan Young. Alan, would you?
Hi, my name is Alan Young, and as a lot of you know, a couple of years ago, I ran for mayor here. And just as when I ran for mayor, my goals are the same: to serve my community, to bring us closer together as a community. We can be a city doesn't mean much. San Antonio, nobody knows each other in San Antonio, but what I feel about this place, and I've never felt it any other place where I've lived before, is that sense of community. I know my neighbors. I've been to their houses. I've been to their barbecues. I've been to their funerals in some cases, to their births of their children in other cases. So it's a place that has become home to me. And as a guy who's moved around a lot, I've never had a home before. This is my home because the people that live here have made it my home, not because I've made it my home, because the people that surround me have made it my home. And the way I can do my best thing for them is to serve. And I have a server's heart. I try to help anybody during the winter storm, during COVID, during anything, anytime anybody needs anything, they know all they have to do is pick up a phone. And if I'm available, I'm there. And the best way I can see to serve is to help you guys out, to help make sure that our city becomes a community and keeps moving forward in the way it needs to go.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Young.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, you and ma'am, you heard from the candidates. I'd ask you to select one and pass it back down, and let's see what we can come up with.
Circle mine.
You just turn it over and pass them down. I'm gonna open them right back up and look at them.
He doesn't need paper cuts.
Okay,
Oh, spit it out.
right. We have a tie.
Hi, guys. Is that where you step in?
It's just.
Yes, this is where I have to step in. Uh,
Yeah, open vote motion for.
Ma'am,
There has to be a motion before you can actually. bridge and cut.
A motion that allows the mayor to break the tie.
No, a motion for an appointment.
Oh, didn't we do that?
I thought.
If it's a tie, somebody has to move to appoint a specific person.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Which would, it would be by the resolution.
But if there's a tie, okay, then I make a motion to appoint Grace Alvarado. Is that what you mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
okay, Alderman Rapino has made a motion to appoint Grace Alvarado. Alderwoman Martinez has seconded the motion. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay,
Opposed?
that is 3-1. Grace Alvarado will be the appointment. Now we do the resolution now.
Yes.
Okay. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas, filling a vacancy on the City Council for Alderman Place 4, unexpired term by appointment until the next regular municipal election. Whereas the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas is a type A municipality with an aldermanic form of government pursuant to Chapter 22 of the Local Government Code. And whereas Place 4, Alderman Place 4, John Crickmer, submitted his written and signed resignation pursuant to Section 22 or 201.001 of the Texas Election Code, which was received by the mayor and city secretary on March 17, 2022. Whereas on March 24, 2002, the city council accepted Alderman Crickmer's resignation, which created a vacancy in the position of Alderman Place 4. And whereas Section 22.010 of the Local Government Code provides if for any reason a single vacancy exists on the governing board of the municipality, a majority of the remaining members, excluding the mayor, may fill the vacancy by appointment unless an election to fill the vacancy is required by Article 11, Section 11 of the Texas Constitution. And whereas the city council finds an election to fill the vacancy is not required by Article 11, Section 11 of the Texas Constitution, and desires to fill the vacancy in the position of Alderman Place 4 by appointment until the next regular municipal election. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas. Section 1, findings of fact, the above recitals are hereby found to be true and correct, legislative and factual findings of the City Council of the City, and are hereby approved and incorporated into the body of this resolution as if copied in their entirety. Section 2, appointment of Alderman Place 4. The City Council appoints Grace Alvarado to fill the office of Alderman Place 4, unexpired term until the next regular municipal election pursuant to local government code, section 22.010B. Section 3, effective date, this resolution shall take place immediately from and after the passage and approval of this resolution, passed and approved this 24th day of April, March 2022. That's the resolution. We need a motion to adopt it.
I move that we adopt resolution 2022-151, a resolution of the city council of the city of Sandy Oaks, Texas, filling the vacancy on the city council for Alderman Place 4, unexpired term by appointment until the next regular municipal election of Grace Alvarado for Place 4 on the city council.
Okay, I have a motion from Alderman Rapino to adopt resolution 22-151. Do I have a second,
I have a question before we move forward.
sir?
I'm sorry, I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't understand the purpose of the vote if then we were just gonna make a single appointment and a motion to pass that person. Does that make sense?
Had it not been a tie, sir, the motion would have been made.
So had I spoke up before Councilman Rapino, that person could have had a chance.
Yes, sir.
It was kind of odd.
That's how the process works, sir.
Is that right?
Okay, that motion was made first, so it was on the table first. Considered First, if it would have failed, then someone else could have.
Okay, I just want to make sure everybody. understands that. Okay. No further questions.
Okay. Alderman Brecken has a say. First liar wins.
No, actually, the second liar doesn't have a chance.
Okay,
So
so
need to-
we have a
need to vote.
motion and we require a second.
I'll go second.
And Alderman Brecken seconds the motion. The motion is to adopt resolution number 2022-151, appointing Grace Alvarado to Alderman Place 4. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain.
Okay. 3 in favor with 1 abstention. That works for me.
I'll swear her in and get her over with.
Sir,
Swear her in and get her over with.
I don't swear at her. I swear her in.
I said, swear at her.
Statement. This is what she needs to read first before she signs the. She needs to read this to herself, that she needs to sign that she hasn't done any of that stuff, and then she can take the oath.
A lot of specs up here tonight, isn't there?
So you need to read this and sign that that's a true
Out
statement.
loud or just read it?
Just,
just
yeah,
for
just
myself.
yeah, just for
Okay.
yourself, yeah.
Right here?
Mhm, yeah. Okay, now, he's gonna be on there. You can read that to her.
Hey, raise your right hand, please, ma'am. I state your name.
I, Grace K. Alvarado,
Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties
do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of Alderman, Place 4 for the city of Sandy Oaks,
of the office of Alderman Place 4 of the city of Sunny Oaks,
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state, so help me God.
and of this state, so help me God.
Congratulations. Uh, And you'll get to sign.
Oh, it's on the top. And my notes.
I get to sign. Okay, we're done with that.
Official.
Ma'am, if you'll take that seat.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, with that said and done,
Grace.
I've lost my place again. There we go. Returning to agenda item number 4. Update from the mayor and administrator announcements updates. Update from the March 16th, 2022 Citizen Complaint Review Board meeting. The board met and adopted their Robert's Rules of Orders as their procedural method. We had a drawing for the position with Dalton Ellis drew for position 1. David Tremblay was absent, but I drew for him in position 2. Position 3, Al Ortiz, and position 4, James Ellis. Positions 1 and 3, the term will expire this May. Positions 2 and 4, their term will expire in May of 2023. B is an update on the TDA grant for Loman Hilltop Beach Drainage Project. Grant Works has a gentleman assigned to lead us through that process, and we're moving along. So moving to agenda item 5, consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine by the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be approved separately. Does anyone desire discussion on either of these items?
I move that we accept if there's no discussion, I move that we accept the consent agenda as
Presented.
Yes.
Okay, Alderman Rapino has made a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Alderman Bricken has seconded the motion to accept the consent agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 6, Police Department. Updates and announcements from Chief Lopez with possible discussion and or action. What do you have for us, Chief?
Good evening, council. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
So last Thursday, we had an inspection with TCO, Texas Commission on Law Enforcement Standards. We had no deficiencies, so we passed that inspection. And then on March 18th, we opened a position for another police officer vacancy. We're keeping over from March 18th to April 15th to fill that vacancy.
Okay,
So I believe that's it.
and we're still advertising for reserve officers.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay,
Also, we had posted, we're going to repost for the code enforcement position for another 30 days. So we're still moving on track with that as well.
all right, thank you very much. Any questions? Okay. Moving on to item 6B, discuss and or possible action on approving the reimbursement of the police department budget from ARPA funds for the purchase and modifications to the 2017 Ford Taurus in the amount of $30,737.08. We needed to buy a different vehicle because one of the vehicles has just been with us forever. It's wore out and no longer useful to the police department. We had not budgeted in this year's budget for a police vehicle, but if we don't keep them in cars, there's no reason to have the police. The final ruling from the Treasury Department allows us to utilize the ARPA funds for city purposes. And I would entertain a motion that we approve transferring $30,737.08 from the ARPA fund to the police department.
I'm going to make a motion.
You can make a motion or you can open it up for discussion, sir.
Well, it's a car. We need it. We got the money. I don't think there's much more to deal with it.
Okay,
So I make a motion that we approve the reimbursement of the police to the police department budget from the ARPA funds for the modification for the 2017 Ford Taurus in the amount of $30,737.08. I'll second.
okay, Alderman Ricken has made the motion to reimburse the police department budget from ARPA funds in the amount of $30,737.08. Mayor Pro Tem Martinez has seconded the motion. Any-
No,
No,
no.
I'm sorry.
It was
It was me.
That was you. Yeah, this ear's bad. I heard it from that way. Okay.
Already approved my resignation.
Alderman Rapino has seconded the motion. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Okay, that carries unanimously. And we will do that. Okay, agenda item 7, animal control. Presentation of monthly report from Animal Control Officer Ellis with possible discussion and action.
Good evening, council. You have the 3 reports in front of you. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the intake detail report for the month of February. We took in a total of 5 stray dogs
Inventory and then
for
after.
the month of February. After that would be the outcome report. For the month of February, we outcomed 3 dogs, 3 of those dogs being adoption, actually 2 dogs being adoption and 1 pig in the beginning of the month, and then return to owner was 2 of those animals. For current inventory for this month, as of today, on your reports, it says 5 animals. As of today, we picked up 1 more stray female dog. So that is actually 6 animals in our inventory, 1 in foster and 5 here at the facility.
Okay. Any discussion?
Don, what are we doing to actively find homes for the dogs that are here?
So 2 of them, 2 dogs actually left, 1 this morning, 1 last night, both transports, 1 going to Pennsylvania, 1 to Idaho. So they're currently, I have I wouldn't really call it a team, but I have a select few people that help me out trying to find rescues and different groups for transport. And of course, adoption is always available, so as much exposure as we can on social media.
Something that, I don't know, maybe dogs in the park type thing, where we can bring them out maybe in cages and let people introduce themselves.
Yeah,
to
the
it.
ACAC committee has talked about doing something with the community garage sale at the same time as that. So that's in talk. So hopefully we can work that out.
Okay, good.
Anything else?
I almost called him the other day. There was a rattlesnake under my porch.
Yep, that's Bear County, sir. That's wildlife.
Oh, weasel law here.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis.
Thank you, Council.
Yeah, okay. Item B, under animal control, discuss handle possible action to appoint an elected official to chair the Animal Control Advisory Committee. When Alderman Crickmer, thank you. When Alderman Crickmer resigned, it created a vacancy in the chair position, the Animal Control Advisory Committee, asking for a volunteer to chair that committee.
What are the responsibilities?
The Animal Control Advisory Committee meets to discuss animal issues. They seek rescue groups and transfer groups to try to move dogs out of the city. They make recommendations to council as to the needs for the animal control facility and the animal control officer. I heard that Debbie Martinez, Alderwoman Martinez might be interested.
I hadn't really considered it, but.
I heard it was Grace Alvarado.
Well,
But yeah, I'll do it.
How often do they meet, Mr. Fellinger?
generally
Twice a month. isn't it?
twice a month.
Twice a month.
Yeah. Animal Control Advisory Committee meets
I think the second and the
uh,
fourth.
Second and
Second
third.
and fourth.
second and third
Second and
Monday.
and fourth.
Oh,
Second and
Second
fourth.
fourth.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Second and fourth Monday of the month is their regular meetings, ma'am.
Yes, I do it.
So that you are saying you will do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. City council appoints that position. I would entertain a motion appointing Alderwoman Martinez to chair the Animal Control Advisory Committee.
Make a motion to appoint Alderwoman Debbie Martinez to the Animal Control Advisory Committee.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to appoint Alderwoman Martinez to chair the Animal Control Advisory Committee. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Okay, congratulations, Alderwoman Martinez. You are now the chair of the Animal Control Advisory Committee. Okay, Parks and Recreations, agenda item 8, updates from Park Advisory Committee Chair Tom Rapino with possible discussion and/or action.
I just want to announce that we will be meeting April 5th for our next park committee meeting. And also that we've had some recent vandalism in the park, which is always a downer. And probably at that meeting, we'll be discussing some ways that we might try and curb some of that vandalism. It's unfortunate that it occurs and it's almost impossible to stop it all. But it's a downer, but that's all I have right now. And you did have something that you wanted to add to the agenda, I think. And
Yeah.
and we did add it, so.
All right. We also, the Parks Committee had discussed applying for grants, and we have applied for 3 grants with AARP Community Challenge grants. So looking forward to hearing how that turns out. Okay. Now we can skip on up here to agenda item 9, administrative new business. Item D, discuss and/or possible action regarding modifying the contract between Waste Connections and the city of Sandy Oaks to allow dumpsters on private property and authorizing a person or persons to negotiate modifying the contract. There were a lot of people disappointed when we took away residential dumpsters. The reason we did that is because most of the residential dumpsters were blocking the right of way. When utility contractors try to work, there's a dumpster. Our right of way also includes our drainage ways. Some of the dumpsters were causing damage to the streets and undermining the shoulders. Alderman Bricken offered to contact Waste Management and see if there was any compromise available. You want to speak to that?
Yes, I toured the city with a representative from Waste Connections about, number one, what do they require in the way of access and location for their dumpsters that are not on city property in the ditches and stuff like that? And what kind of equipment they have. They told me that their trucks weigh about 35,000 pounds. And they went and looked at all the potential ones. They didn't find but about 20 that they might be able to actually get their trucks on the person's property and get their truck turned around safely. There's overhead lines, there's trees and things like that. These trucks are not short. And they do not back up on the road. That's one of their conditions. They do not blind back up into a highway. There might be a slight exception, limited, for people with medical disabilities that for some reason get a note from their doctor that this would be beneficial to them. That would be kind of a one-off type of deal. We had talked about a permit, which I'm not sure whether we want to have a permit we pay for, but they will come out, people make their requests, they will come out and inspect the property and see if it meets their ability to do the job. Okay, so whether the person gets their request filled or not is really not up to us. There are some properties that are 5 and 10 acres that they got plenty of room, and they got, because they weren't part of Waterwood, or they didn't have exemptions against horses and whatnot. They can have these things. They have a bigger need. So I want to go back and firm it up in a list of conditions, and then see if the city council, I want to make one point before I get to that. They're going to lose money on this deal, but they agreed, being that we're a customer, to go ahead and do it. They're going to come out and examine each property and approve it or disapprove it. So the city council cannot really overrule their opinion. I want to bring it back to the city council as a resolution that they have agreed to, and a contract modification, which would have to take place as a separate resolution, probably. So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Oh, if it's up for discussion,
Yep,
so to put it politely, I don't necessarily agree that we should, only because we're looking at, you said 20, right? 20 potential properties.
That's what they saw.
Okay. And I think the last time they were on the phone, they serve 1,100 properties.
Right.
That's 1%. I don't think 1% is enough demand. And two, as a finance guy, I don't believe we should push them into a situation where they're willingly told us that they're taking losses. It's not good for a company. It's not good for us to push that on them, in my opinion, right? I wouldn't want my company to operate at a loss. I wouldn't offer it to operate as a loss. They did offer to move cans for people that have disabilities. So they will pull up in front of the house, they will grab the can, the regular can, and move it to you, move it to their truck so they can load it and then push it back. I don't think it's the right choice for the area. It's an additional truck that will be running the streets. If I'm not mistaken, I already see not only Waste Connections, but Tiger's still here. I see Waste Management. I see Mutts. There's a lot of trucks are still running around in this general area, not serving Sandy Oaks, but going down Priest Road.
Yeah.
My office in my house faces the road, so I see them daily. So in my opinion, I don't think it is a good idea to push forward with the, to amend the agreement, or to at least bring it up before council. That's my opinion.
well, that's why we have discussion, sir.
Yes, sir.
I might point out that before we took over, you took over as mayor, there was already not anything in motion, but concern for those particular property owners who have the greater need, okay? They're not coming, they're not bothering the streets particularly, but these are big properties and they have stables and everything else, and trash cans just don't cut it, okay? We're not granting a blanket. Now it might be easier for, say, Tiger to do it, except that these people right now have an exclusive contract to do all trash
residential pickup. Okay, and I guess they could be considered commercial properties. I don't know. I hadn't thought about that, but I'm kind of in favor of it, even though it's limited. These people have been here for many years and had that particular service. Of course, a lot of people been here a lot of years and had that service, but unfortunately, the negligence of the way it was handled caused damage to the road and
I think,
Saturday morning racket.
I think as long as it's done properly, and I don't think, let's face it, Waste Connections is not going to lose money. And
No.
we're not their only
No, that's just like
customer.
us claiming to work hard. It's
They're
worse.
making money. And
Yeah.
I think that we shouldn't deny our citizens, we shouldn't inconvenience them as long as we do it properly and as long as Waste Connections does it properly. We don't injure our roads. We don't cause a hazard to anyone. If it does, then we can always stop it. I think we ought to do it. If it becomes a problem, we can cut it off.
It's not currently a problem, in a sense, right? I know you said if it becomes a problem, but right now it's not a problem.
Yeah, but we're
Well-
not providing a service either.
Well, one of the things that I took away from what Waste Management said is
Connection.
they will only consider a property that has a driveway, where in the past they have driven through the ditch to reach dumpsters.
And that's why I say do it properly. If not, then don't do it.
And from the city side, we're requiring residential dumpsters to be placed on private property. And the use of a driveway and weekday pickup. From their side, they're requiring access onto the property, to be able to safely turn around.
And let's not forget, the customer's paying for it.
Yeah. Okay,
The last thing I heard from them was that they are gonna require some sort of paved road, correct? And then paved road, like when they go on the property.
Yeah.
Right, so they're gonna require some sort of paved road. They're gonna require enough room to turn around because they will not back up,
No, they will not back up
correct?
into a city road. Okay, if they want to back up on the guy's property, that would be different.
That's not how I heard it, but maybe you're
Well,
right, yeah.
I didn't either, but when I got to thinking about it, they just will not blind back up onto
Yeah.
a road.
Yeah, I think the phrase was, if we can't see what's behind us, we won't back up, which is, understandable. It's a big truck.
And don't forget the overhead problem,
Yeah,
trees
so
and so forth.
I think, I don't know, I mean, maybe we do go out and let them take an assessment, but I feel like we're gonna make it to where it's very select people have it, and it's gonna anger more citizens.
Either you qualify or you don't. It's that
That's
simple.
it.
Right.
it's fairly simple, if your house doesn't qualify with an insurance company, they won't sell you insurance.
I believe if the citizens are willing to take the conditions that are made, they
Well-
should be able to have waste pickup.
I,
No other citizen should get upset because they don't meet the conditions.
yeah, I look at, when I moved out here, there was no street light in front of my house and there was no sidewalk in front of my house. And I purchased the property anyway, knowing that there were restrictions and, if they can't cut a deal with Waste Connections, that's one thing. If we tell them you can't cut a deal, with Waste Connections. That's a different thing.
And plus you have to understand that the trucks going onto the sand can get stuck. That's why they're saying.
And
we
that's
have to
why
have
they're,
the-
that's why they're
the
requiring a
pavement.
driveway.
Exactly.
I don't think that they're gonna require a paved driveway because
Base or
they
something.
travel on gravel roads all through the
Yeah.
county, but, I would entertain a motion one way or the other that we consider it and authorize someone to talk to Waste Connections or we don't consider it.
Well, I'm prejudiced.
Well,
Go ahead,
that's
sir.
okay. Make a motion, Gary.
You want me to make a motion?
Yeah,
I want somebody to make a motion to either move forward or stop.
Okay, I make a motion. That we contact Waste Connections and get their requirements and their thoughts. Exactly the requirements and to allow them to place dumpsters on private property within the city. This is just not okaying the thing yet. It's just basically to approve someone to go and talk to them and make this
Concrete.
give us a clear idea of what we're really talking about.
Okay,
I'm not sure what you're saying, Gary.
okay. Alderman Bricken has made a motion to move forward with negotiating, modifying the contract between Waste Connections and the City of Sandy Oaks to allow dumpsters on private property. Was that your motion, sir?
Yes.
Okay,
I babble.
Okay, I'll second.
okay, Alderman Bricken has made a motion to move forward with further discussion with waste management. Alderman
And Waste Connection.
Waste Connection, thank you. Alderman Rapino has seconded that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're gonna move forward. And we need to nominate and name a person or persons to negotiate modifying the contract. Alderman Bricken and Alderwoman Martinez brought this item forward. I would entertain a motion that we authorize Alderman Bricken and Alderwoman Martinez to talk to Waste Connections and bring this back to council.
I make a motion that Alderman Bricken and Alderwoman Martinez negotiate the contract with Waste Connections.
Okay,
I second.
I have a motion from Alderman Rapino to authorize Alderman Bricken and Alderwoman Martinez to negotiate with Waste Connections and bring it back to council. Alderwoman Alvarado has seconded the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that's unanimous. Agenda item 9E, discuss and or possible action on procedures for adopting land use and development ordinances, includes subdivisions and plating and comprehensive zoning. I would like to postpone this item until our next meeting.
I'll make a motion to postpone this item.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem Martinez made a motion that we postpone this item until the next regular meeting. All, may I have a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Rapino seconded. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda item 9E is postponed and will come back as old business on our next regular agenda. Okay. Agenda item 9F, discuss and possible action on approving the transfer of $52,000 from the American Rescue Plan Act account to Texas Department of Agriculture TDA grant account to cover the city's portion of the Lowman Hilltop Beach Drainage Project. We've been approved by the Texas Department of Agriculture for a grant of $350,000 to correct the drainage issues on Hilltop Beach Drive at the intersection of Lowman. Our portion of that grant at $350,000 would be $52,000. The actual estimate was $317,000. And what we would accept the $350,000 grant if we did not utilize it, that refunds back to Texas Department of Agriculture. At the $317,000 figure, our portion of the grant would be about $51,000. So I would like to move the full balance of the $350,000 matching fund into the TDA grant bank account so that we can start moving along on this project. Questions, discussion?
ARPA funds are eligible to be moved to the TDA.
Yes, sir. That one of the approved uses of ARPA funds is to match other government grants. So yeah, we're on target as far as utilization.
It's kind of like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Huh?
Well, you could say that.
That's what governments do.
Yeah, exactly.
So we need a motion.
So I would entertain a motion to approve transferring $52,000 from the American Rescue Plan Act to the Texas Department of Agriculture grant account.
If there's no further discussion, I'll make a motion to transfer $52,000 from the American Rescue Plan Act to the Texas Department of Agriculture grant account to cover the city's portion of the Lowman Hill Peaks Drainage Project.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion from Alderman Rapino to discuss, to approve the transfer of $52,000 from the American Rescue Plan Act account to the Texas Department of Agriculture grant account to cover the city's portion of Lowman Hilltop Beach Drainage Project. I have a second from Alderman Bricken. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimous. We will transfer the money into the TDA account. And agenda item number 10 is adjourn. I would entertain a motion.
I will move that we approve agenda item number 10 to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
At 7:41 PM
And who
Central Standard Time. Oh, no, Central Daylight Time.
okay, so we have a motion from Alderman Rapino to adjourn at 7:47, seconded by Alderwoman Alvarado. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.